Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all having a great week so far. Everybody's doing something nice outside since most of us have nice weather. Some of you guys are getting rain and crap, though. But we're going to have a discussion. So let's get going.
You're beautiful but unsatisfied since day one. You were getting teased and it scarred you when you were young. Now you're getting older and you've been on the grind. Your paper off the scale so you feel like it's time. So you got a nose job, that's the primary thing. People tease you as a kid and for some reason you hit. Always into high fashion, girl, you heavy like lead. Liposuction out your shell like a chicken and egg. Feeling confident but now you're becoming obsessed. First your nose, then your weight, now your butt and your breast. It's a vanity fair, cosmetic overdose. Fiending for a next operation like it was dope. Now you feel the need to skin pill, your skin's no good. But if those around you were real, they'll tell you the truth. Just because you spending thousands, that don't make it alright. Had one problem, now it's many going under the knife. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on. Vanity Fair, yeah. Changing one or two things, cool girl, do you? Do you wanna be beautiful and look like you? Or do you wanna look like someone you saw in a magazine or video, but not in the raw? I like nice shaped bodies, bikinis Brazilian, but too much of anything just isn't appealing. Some people spend a lifetime, even a million. No grace like those unhappy when chilling. A girl with a big butt, big lips, small hips is what we all love to see, and men dream about this. There is nothing wrong with getting something broken fixed. Some women get a breast job cause cancer assists. Some women want to please their man and insist. And a woman really loves you if she wants to do this. But abuse ain't the same as intention with care. So be careful of the drug called the Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Look your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, facelines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Look your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, faceline, look at your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to have my camera off for this one because I don't want any distractions. I want everybody to hear what I'm about to say very clearly because there is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of misunderstanding, and there seems to be a lot of lack of comprehension of words, terms, things that are actually coming out of my mouth. So buckle up. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're not going to get into it deep and heavy because I have to run. I need to go do some errands, get some cat food, cat litter. Kyle's truck got towed up to the shop this morning. It's been crazy, but I have some things to do. So this is going to be a shorter one and a discussion-based one to lay out exactly what is happening, address some of the conflicts, the confusion, put everybody on one playing field so it's said out loud. It's here. There's no hidden expectations. There's none of these motives or intentions or all this, any of that. So let's get into it. Let me go back and say hi to everybody, though. First and foremost, anybody is welcome here. You will be respectful or you will get out of here. There will be no dogpiling on anybody. You're open to your criticism, anything like that. But if your sole purpose is here, Discorders, I'm talking to you specifically. If your sole purpose here is to try and troll me and attempt to trigger me into getting off topic, all of this stuff, first of all, we're not toddlers. Secondly, these are the problems that exist. And gameplay like that, petty little shit like that, isn't how I do things. So you are free to attempt to do that, but I know upfront what you're attempting to do by pushing the buttons. I mean, you guys are pretty obvious about it. There's people that are really fed up with it too. So here we go. Anyways, hey Rockabit, hey I Hate Peas, Good Gumby, T Kelly, Stargazer. You guys are all talking, self-proclaimed. Bama, True Crime Dime, Karen, Blank Screen, L, Brenda, Cool Gamer, Natflo, Peg, Becca, Marcy, Jennifer, Kitten Claus, Trauma Punks. And I know there's a lot of people live right now too. I went live because I'm not going to do content. Like, we have some stuff to get through, but I'm not going to be doing that until, especially like I have clips from Queen Bees that I'm going to be using, but where Queen Bee is live, I have respect for her. So I'm not going to play her content while she's live. I'll wait until this afternoon. So we're going to come back 4 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That would be 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to do the review. Let me continue to go on. Who is Moo Moo Buckaroo? You should read the titles of my videos. They're always something crazy and stupid, unrelated to anything. I don't tag people. None of that crap. It is what it is. Hey, Revival, Zoya, Brittany, Instant Karma. I'm trying to read some of these as I'm going. Sorry, y'all. A Blank Slate, Salsy, and any of my mods that have a wrench. If you want me to remove your wrench, please let me know now up front. No hard feelings, no nothing. I know that some of you are put in hard spots, and I don't want anybody to feel any sort of way. Amethyst even was like, ugh, you can take mine. I won't take hers. I won't take hers. I won't let her throw it. No. Any of you guys. This is a lot, and I understand it, and I want to talk about that and break it down some. Freeside, Summer Butterfly, let's be honest. This is a lot on everybody. Tiger Talks, Smiles, Lisa, so a lot of you guys are all over the place today. Oh, let's be honest. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to the Cabana for those of you that were just gifted memberships. Thank you again. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got Kathy P, Brianna, Heartland Honey. All right. Net Flu, Cocktails and Crime. How much does a wrench cost around here? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Nat Flu. I hate the dentist. Stephanie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's break it back. Let's bring it back because there's a lot of confusion, and this is part of the whole process that I knew I was getting into. So y'all, a lot of people are like, where is this coming from? It came out of the blue. No, it didn't. It did not come out of the blue. I'm sorry for those of you that felt blindsided by this and felt like this was completely out of sideways. No, unfortunately, this was not out of the blue. This was not something that just happened overnight, that we needed content, that anybody was flipping on anybody. These are patterns of behavior that have been continual. People have had options to correct certain things and have chose not to. When you continually do things like that, sooner or later, we either have to address it out front, or I'm condoning the same things that we call out on a daily basis. I can't do that. And this wasn't just an instantaneous one-time thing. This has been a buildup of many different things. I got really emotional the other day, and I need to explain why. So let me break it back to that. Have you ever been in a relationship, any of you, with a friend? It could be a boyfriend, anything, and everything is okay. Everything is fine. You have a soft spot for the person. You think, oh, they have good intent. You don't really know them, but you're in the developmental stages, or what you think, respecting another human being. And you're like, oh, decent human being, right? We're on the same page. You think just briefly, not even a deep relationship, just kind of giving somebody the benefit of the doubt and moving on. But people assume there's a relationship there, right? Anybody been in one of those relationships and then all of a sudden that relationship, you get kicked in the face by a donkey that's been standing there all along? Anybody have that happen before? Where you just like you see a person one way at first and you're like, "Oh, okay, no problem," because human nature is to kind of let people show you who they are. We try to not prejudge. Even if we see maybe small flaws, you're like, "Oh, well, that's just not my style of things," or anything like that, and you're kinda like, "Well, it's okay. Maybe there's some difficulties here, underlying issues," and you just kinda are like, "Okay, keep it cute." And then you get kicked in that face, and you're like, eyes are wide open, and you can't shut them, and you can't unsee, and you can't take that kick that broke your nose away. Now, these are hypotheticals. Again, nobody broke my nose, nobody kicked me in the face, anything like that. That's what this situation is like for me. And let me explain why. So, first and foremost, there was this assumed relationship with Unirock in my channel. That assumed relationship was developed over multiple things. That was because I would pop in his lives. He gave me a wrench after I don't even know who met Unirock to be first and foremost. I found out about Unirock through the Dono Girls. And that was after the fact, quite a ways after. And I never realized what his content was even about. I didn't know who he was. I didn't have time for any of that. So I would go over there, pop in occasionally, say hi, and out I would go. I was close to 1,000 when he started promoting my page, and his subs helped me get to my 1,000. I've always said that. The only contact that I've ever had with Uni was a simple reach out to him on Twitter and thank him. That was it. That was all. That was the only conversation I've ever had with that man, except one other time when I hopped up on his panel. But there was an assumed relationship because I would pop in his and he was constantly using or regurgitating my content. Again, we have talked about the fact that the content, the monetization of my content, that is not a non factor. Those are topics of things that were brought out to get me to open my eyes. Those were conversations that we've already had publicly. It's not about him monetizing my content. That's what creators do. The money piece of it, none of that. But that is what was used for me to finally get kicked in the face time and time and time again. That was just one of the pieces. Again, it has nothing to do with it. We all do that. But there was this assumed relationship because people would come over here. I had contact with Navy and I think a couple other of his mods. I was actually asked to give Uni Rach a mod. I would have never given her a wrench or like a wrench. I would have never even thought about it, which was no big deal. So I gave her one. I gave Navy one willingly. But I never developed a relationship with these guys. I never had a personal relationship with Navy, a personal conversation with Navy. Now I did allow Navy to know how I was handling certain situations behind the scenes. So he does know some of those things. But beyond that, there was no relationship between us. And I think people were really misinformed or they assumed that because of the use of content, the keeping it cute. Y'all, I barely have watched him up until the last month. I had really no clue what his content was. I just didn't have time. It's not humanly possible for me to do my own content, do all the research that goes into this stuff, and have my family. There's just no way. That is my fault. I am sorry because I feel like I misled you guys too. By keeping it cute, by not opening my eyes sooner, I feel like I misled a lot of you. And that's not fair because I didn't intentionally mislead you. When the donkey kicked me in the face, the donkey had been standing right in front of me for quite a while and kicking me in the shins, the arms, other places that didn't hurt. The other day when I watched the content of Uni playing me, well, it wasn't even me. He was just adding all sorts of fluff to it. That hit me in a different way. And let me explain it like this. I have kept it cool on so many things. Well, no, I've lost my cool a couple times. But when you have people such as Penelope, who doxed me, EKC, who is a complete random weirdo, I don't know what you would even call her, Vada, Goose, Molly's team of, those people, so that would be Goose. Erica, when you have a bunch of people who have single white female syndrome, in my opinion, that are focused solely on you, me, let's be specific here, and you are trying to weed through those, you don't have time to see all this other stuff. Now, granted, I've ignored most of those people except the one that doxed me and threatened my nieces. I have been very open and out front with the situation with my nieces to an extent that I'm comfortable with. I will always say that that was the biggest mistake by me telling you guys that that's what happened. I should have never announced it. I should have never given them that, because as soon as I announced it, it was so exciting for everybody else. It was exciting for everybody else. Go watch those videos because I gave them content. I handled it cute, cool, calm, and collected. But meanwhile, my little ones, who have been through complete hell and back more than a lot of these adults, have the fear, because to them, after all these times, they had been removed by CPS, not from me, 3 times. So there's a different level of trauma that even a slight phone call, granted, we had nothing to worry about because I keep my shit all in line. But that trauma for them reigniting is exactly why they did it. Because that's the games these people play. Now, again, I opted to come out here. I opted to call it the people I did, knowing that there could be repercussions of that. You can call that a repercussion of calling out these people. Even though we knew it was going to happen, it will never be okay. My girls are okay because I make sure of that. Instead of making it into content and continuing to go on and on and on about all of it and explain how horrible it got to them, because why am I, any of that stuff. It's not content. This is my real life. That's why that was emotional for me. I've never watched him do that. I heard about it. I saw clips of certain pieces of it. I didn't see nearly what had happened. So when I watched that the other day, the level of rage inside me, a man, not one, two, being so careless, laughing, giggling, putting direct blame on somebody, intensifying the situation. Meanwhile, do you think they reached out to me and checked on me to see if I was okay? He laughed and then instantly went to, how much nonsense? You need money? You need money for this? That way you need nonsense? You need money? How much you need? 20K? 20K nonsense? You want to go to Disneyland? Take the girls to Disneyland. Sue the shit out of them. Meanwhile, all I could think is, oh my fuck. The poor kids, as soon as they see these people, the trauma that's going to ensue, like, I hope they realize this is no big deal. That's all I could think. I have kept my emotions in check on so many things that I should have fucking lost it. I'm forced myself to be numb through a lot of these situations because these people are fucking a different breed of humanity. One that I want nothing to do with. This has nothing to do with LB or an email. LB is a misinformation crony, and the only reason why L is relevant over here is because she's a misinformation crony. And, she has done a lot of damage in Marvon's story, passed off a lot of misinformation. That's it. I don't care about emails between her and Katie and all of those people. I started there because it's a pattern of behavior and flip-flopping and changing stories over all emotional responses because that group of people has such a hatred and dislike of each other that still comes into play today. And in order to understand why any of them got involved in Marvan's story, I had to go all the way back to look because shit don't make sense. But what you see is there's so much manipulation, misinformation, clickbait, and lies, and finger pointing, and zero accountability taking. This I have no intent of looking into these emails. I don't give two shits about any of them. Not a single one of them. This isn't an olive branch. This is me taking the gasoline and pouring it on that bridge. I will not have no interest in entertaining any conversations with any of these people. That ship has sailed. I will not apologize for being emotional. I've apologized for things that I never should have. I've kept it cute because I was so worried about the subs. I was so worried about you guys feeling like you would have to choose. This isn't a personal issue. I had emotions about that one situation, and I'm entitled to. But what we're not going to do is overlook a pattern of behavior that is existing today. We're not going to give passes. You're not going to play games in front of my face. And you sure as fuck are not going to monetize content about my CPS call and my docs. And then the very day I criticize you for your fucking behavior. This is about you, Uni. Only you. Your behavior. Nobody else's. This isn't about Navy. I will not be responding to any of those people. You can have them come at me like chihuahuas like they have been for 10 months. It ain't going to work. This is about you and your behavior only. This is about taking accountability and understanding that you are hurting other people beyond just creators. It would be one thing if you were just calling out the bad actors and fucking around, but you're not. You're teetering on the edge and you're fucking with victims and their families too. People's safety will never, ever trump content for him. It's always going to be content first because that's also a pattern of behavior. These people, these two men that sat and talked about and made it seem like they were so supportive of me, that it would be cute, take your family on a vacation, you know, all these things. They're so supportive of what's happening. The very day after I criticized them, guess who's in their inboxes that they're entertaining? Erica, Penelope, Vada, and EKC. The very people that doxed me came at me and lied on me continually over and over and over again, have threatened me, have threatened my nieces. Now, Vada, you'll sit there and try to take credit for all that. I'm not blaming you for those. The person that's responsible for them, we just talked about on Saturday. She knows. And I'm not talking about the CPS call either. Nobody knows. If you think that these are the type of human beings that I want anywhere around me, that because you criticize a full-grown man over his behavior and the bullshit that he has done to you, that he is willing to align with the very people that have been attacking the creator that he has fucked over time and time again for the need of content. You can miss me with that, but he has respect for you. He never had respect for me. This man doesn't respect anybody around him, including Navy. Navy is used as a buffer between Uni and others. You have to go through Navy because then Uni can say, oh, I'm sorry, so-and-so, you know, oh. There's that built-in buffer. That's why they do it. Master of confusion. It ain't because Uni's too busy. It ain't because he's so big up there that he can't answer. He can't be bothered. But it's because he fucks up so often and he gets called out so often. And this is a pattern of behavior for him that he has had to have these built-in buffers. It doesn't work. I don't play the games. I'm not playing them with you. You went personal instantly and refused to hear anything I had to say. You've discredited me, you've discounted me, and you've spit in my face. I don't take it personal. I fight with the facts, your own behavior, your own words. I'm not attempting to cancel Uni. This isn't because I don't have content. I could do content for fucking days on fucking Kiki sitting here and just chatting with you guys and be just as happy. This is not what it is. But to have the audacity to invite me to an interview like you're some sort of fucking star and then invite Molly in the same sentence, this is all about content for you. Instead of hearing the criticism that I was willing to give you, honestly, from my heart, you have started the most petty, ridiculous, and should be embarrassing tactics. You should be embarrassed by your behavior as a grown-ass man on YouTube. You're throwing things out there. You're reacting. What are you so nervous about? I don't know what you're so nervous about. You have told us time and time again that you have been honest with everybody from day one, that you have been called out time and time again, and it doesn't faze you because you're unbreakable Uni, right? I don't know why you're so nervous. If you can't take accountability for your actions, why does this bother you? I mean, you don't seem to care, so why does it bother you? I don't have to take it personal, and you won't take it there for me because this is not personal to me. I don't know you. You're a stranger to me. All of you are. I don't know you a goddamn thing either. This assumed relationship that people think we had isn't there. It's not what it is. That's how these people move. That's not how I move. I've never been in contact. I don't do voice chat. Unlike he liked to say it on his Twitter spaces. And yes, I've got clips of all this, and we're going to get into clips, and we're going to listen to his own words, and I'm going to walk it back in a pattern of explainable. You can see it right in front of you. We'll do all that. But if you want to run your mouth like you do, you better start coming with some receipts, such as I'm somehow some Discord diva too, I guess. He's running his mouth on Twitter the other night saying I'm in Discord. Dude, I fucking failed at Discord. A couple years ago, another creator tried getting me to use it for one thing. That sucked. I've had the same Twitter account. Somebody else had it. Nunya had to help me try to figure out how to get into it. Then I had one voice chat with Nunya and I think 2 other of your people that popped in there. One time. I don't fucking use Discord. I don't have nothing to hide. I know where you're getting your information, and I'm cracking the fuck up because you walked right into that willingly, and that's going to be embarrassing for you. Taking the very information of the person who has been trying to screw with everybody all along, that's going to be fun for you. I'm excited for that, actually. That'll be a shit show that I'm waiting for. Expose me, please. Expose me. 10 months. And all they can do is lie and lie and lie and lie some more. And now you're aligning with the very liars that you've been calling out. I'm not picking a side. You think that I ran to Charlotte or one of these people? Hell to the fucking no. None of them knew I was doing this. Not a single one of them. But you know what? That's the difference between how I move and how you guys move. It's a side for you. You're either against Katie or you're with it. It's one or the other. That is some weird shit. The hatred for one human being that controls every movement you guys make around the internet because of your group involvement and all of the stuff off of Steve and everything like that, absolutely crazy. I want nothing to do with any of you. This isn't an olive branch for a discussion. This isn't any of that. You can invite Molly on your panel anytime. I will never, ever be seen on a panel with you. No third party. I don't want a discussion. There will be no open line of communication. I didn't reach out to you because by the time I realized what you were, the trust was already gone. I don't have respect for you. I will treat you like a human being as I'm exposing your ass. But you aren't going to play games with me. You're not going to try and intimidate me. You're not going to fuck with my real life. You're not going to align with the very people. I mean, you can do all these things, but it's not going to turn out well for you. You have a choice to make. Take accountability for your actions and keep it moving and take ownership of some bullshit that you've been doing. However this goes is up to you. If you continue to show your ass, I'm going to continue to expose it. Stop showing your ass, I won't have anything to expose, right? Your behaviors will determine how this goes. Do you think I ever wanted to be here? That the very person that I thought, man, if, at least there's one team member out here that's like really got my back. Well, the very fucking person had a knife in it the whole entire time. I have sacrificed a lot of mental space just to make sure that, like, I'm trying to think of the subs. And I want to explain something to you guys. I used the term purge the other day, and they have ran with that and made it into something that it's totally not. I said the purge because he was having his people unsub me because he knew I was getting ready to expose his ass because I made it known. And he started doing stupid shit, in my opinion, very stupid shit, and making up some very egregious stories because he was getting ready and he needed protection and he was amping up and going crazy because he knew this was coming. But he was having his people unsub me. This has been known, y'all. I didn't delete anybody or block anybody. Anybody that has been deleted or anything, it's been right out here. I actually screen recorded my entire block list the other day and sent it to my girls just to verify to them too that nobody was getting blocked. When I said the purge, it was because they're taking themselves out. And I mean the purge as in out with the old, in with the new. Out with the very donkeys that have been kicking me in the face. You're not going to send my comments and gaslight me about things that are being done to me. You're not going to sit here and demean me or my subs that have watched it all go on. Some of my subs, sadly, are really affected by this because they've gotten close to some of these people and developed relationships with them. Again, those relationships are those, and they have to navigate those on their own. But I have to navigate my own. And I will not sacrifice letting down one of my boundaries and letting all this shit happen because other adults can't handle their personal shit and figure it out. A liar is a liar is a liar. You lie on me once, time and time again, I have nothing for you. There is no opportunity. These are relationships over the internet. These are strangers on the internet. We've got to really try and chalk it up. I wasn't emotional because, oh, poor Uni. I was emotional more for him because get the fuck ready is all I got to say. But again, your behavior will determine how this goes. You continue to screw with my subs. You continue to screw with my mods. We knew all that was coming. I know how your tactics go. The one thing different between me and you is I research the person I'm about to expose beforehand. I study their movements. I know how they're going to play. You played your ass out front. It's like chess. You're on a Connect 4 board. Catch up. The petty little games that you are used to playing, we're not going to do that. I did not threaten you to go real life. Uni, you've been exposed all over the internet for how many years now? That's not going real life. Everything that I need to show, you've put out yourself. You've said yourself. You've done to yourself. You've lied about yourself. You've contradicted yourself. I keep it on YouTube. I don't have to go low. I don't have to do ugly things. But again, this will be determined by your behavior and your reaction. Currently, you're having some pretty nasty reactions and doing some pretty stupid shit, such as blaming one of my mods and saying that one of my mods was speaking on behalf of me. That doesn't work. Not a single one of my mods speaks on behalf of me, never has, never will. I don't even know on most days who's got wrenches of mine. So if you know my mods that much and pay that close of attention, why? My mods don't do that. My mods would never do that. And you better be dropping some screenshots and naming some names if it did happen. You know, we do things as in you don't say shit unless you've got proof of it. So you want to accuse my mods of doing something, you better start dropping some receipts. The mods, me having a Discord, expose me all over Facebook. Dude, they've been doing that for months. Where have you been? Where have you been? You can't expose me for shit that I've already exposed myself and been super upfront about and talked about. I mean, but go ahead. Let's try again. I'll just make you look like the biggest ass. I mean, this is like you're making this easy on me. This is kind of a cakewalk after what I've just been through. So we're good. And then I need to start finding you need to start finding clips and laying them out, well, your mods probably, of all these lies that you continue to say that I've said time and time and time again. I'm making a list of the proof that is needed, but we should probably start with the letter because that's current time too. And that affects many people in the community. I know it kind of seems narrow vision because it's Queen Bee that's mentioned, but we'll get into that later today. And we're going to explain that. And we're going to watch that. But I have respect for Queen Bee and she's currently live. So I'm not about to play her content while she's live. I got time. I ain't in no rush. My mods don't speak for me, but that's what he was trying to do was cause infighting between my mods. Here's the funny thing. We don't even have a mod chat. Like I said, I don't even know half the time who's got a wrench over here. And it doesn't change. It's just that I'm that dumb. Because it's not a thing to me. These people don't speak on behalf of me. They don't work for me. They don't do nothing. Some of them have been great help, confidants. We've been in this together. A lot of them are OGs. It ain't like that. But you ain't going to start shit with my mods. We don't work like that. My mods are good. If I had questions for them, I'll go to them. They'll handle their own because you're insulting them as human beings. You're thinking that you're going to cause fighting with me and my mods and my subs and all this stuff. But what you're doing is making yourself look like an ass and getting more heat on you from them because they know you're fucking lying because they don't work like that. None of us talk for each other or speak on behalf of each other. They allow me to feel when I need to feel. And if they don't, it is what it is because here I am feeling what I need to feel, right? Every time that you come back with another knee-jerk reaction and some more bullshit, you're going to be called out for receipts. You're just making a list and list and list. And you're making it personal. Don't have to be like this. Again, how this goes is all up to you, but you will not defame me. You will not lie on me after you fucking milked my content. Because let me tell you, without me, you couldn't have told Marvon anything about Marvon's story, and that's a fucking fact. Nothing factual you could have. The only thing factual you got right in this story is the content that you left of mine alone. I hate to be like that because this is not about an ego stroke, but that's the reality of the situation. And then looking back and hearing how much you inflated and got wrong on that from day one and didn't give a shit enough about Dre or Marvon to go back and correct. These are victim stories that you're telling. They're not yours. You should feel honored that you even have the opportunity to tell the story considering that man can't talk. And then to have as little of respect for that man to lie and inflate his story and not get it right because of clickbait. To jump at the chance of maybe getting an interview with his wife that you're willing to risk her safety and announce it when there was nothing confirmed. But that was the very thing that the people going at her didn't want, was her to talk. So what are they going to do? Amp up the real attacks on her, and it sure as hell happens. And what ended up coming of it? You didn't get an interview, did you? The constant putting other people, including victims, in the middle of this isn't going to work. You've gotten yourself infiltrated with a group of people who praise you and have no if they say one little thing, you jump all over them and they back off. You have made yourself an echo chamber where even the closest people to you will not expect more out of you. That makes me sad for you and the people around you. That's some fake ass bullshit. I wouldn't want friends like that. That's codependency, if you ask me. That ain't friendship. I want friends around me that hold me to a higher standard, that we don't always agree. But I also want friends around me that can apologize, that can right their wrongs, that can take accountability. My God, I've gotten things wrong throughout this and had to correct it time and time again. We're not playing the personal game. I might be petty and make some slide insults, probably. But my emotions are valid. My feelings are valid. You can either start addressing me like a man or I'll continue to call you a bitch. I have a name. You haven't hesitated up until this time to say it, but this time you better put some respect with it. And you better put some fucking receipts with it, because the lies that you are just boldly pulling out of everywhere are about to expose you on a huge scale. Because this is displaying that you're willing to not even, in the flip of a hat, over an emotional reaction, to not take accountability for your own actions. This is, you're fucking flipping out on everybody, claiming that I'm deleting people. You guys are just making up bullshit lies now. Just bold-faced lies. The purge is because you guys are taking yourself out. Ain't nobody getting blocked over here. I don't even, the funny thing is, Uni, you think I pay attention that much to you. When you've claimed all these real life things have happened to you, have you ever seen me hit the button and go live and bring awareness to it? Do you see other people, as soon as you go live and make up some inflated story, go live and bounce off that? No. That's the other way around. Usually the other channels are announcing something that's going on with their real lives, and you hit the live button before you even know the details of what's going on. You use other people's real life information and what's happening to them as content, while most of us maneuver around with safety first. When Molly was posting Queen Bee in her Patreon, I instantly emailed Queen Bee to let her know, and then I redacted the information, her face, and posted it on Facebook so nobody knew who, like the pictures, but they could, because I didn't even know if it was Queen Bee myself. I didn't know who these people were, but I reached out to her first. And then I removed all the information and still got the message across that here she is again doing this. But I reached out first. Sorry. As far as the letter goes, we're going to get into that a lot this afternoon. A lot. But I needed to address some of these things because I understand the confusion. I understand why people think, oh, it's drama. This is not drama. I'm sorry you feel that it's drama. This is the furthest thing from drama, because this is actually affecting real life victims. If you've been following along in the story, you should feel absolute disappointment. If you stand for Dre and Marvon, then you should open your eyes and go look for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go look for yourself and tell me how you would feel about somebody inflating their story or lying about their story to that extent. If you claim you stand for the victims, then you should have outrage in you about this. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. This is just the facts. And we're going to get into some of that. And you guys are going to see on display. We're going to talk about the letter, though. First and foremost, do I know if there's a letter? No. Am I saying that Uni is lying about the letter? What I am saying is that I have a lot of questions about the letter. And until those questions are answered, and again, he doesn't owe any of that to anybody, but he shouldn't have brought it out here either. And also involved other people and things like that, which there's a whole lot of that. JLR does some crazy shit. So again, I'm not shocked if he did do something like that, but the way it was handled, there is absolutely no excuse for it. And then the spin from that, and him being told to take accountability, and that's where people got lost. That was about Queen Bee. I wasn't speaking for Queen Bee. I will never speak for Queen Bee nor any other creator. There was also things done. If you missed it, Rabbit did a great live last night. Rabbit brought up things that I forgot about, like the Ryan Upchurch Ickmill situation. Please go check out Rabbit Down the Rabbit Hole News if you missed that live. It's actually really good. There was a lot of things in there that I didn't even know happened to Rabbit. I didn't know she was lied on to the extent she was. This is not just a Becky against Uni thing, a nonsense against, and I'm not putting anybody else in this. This is called the facts, and the facts matter. If we are expecting other people to believe us, to trust us that we're being factual with you, I can't have people like that around me and say that it's okay, because I wouldn't be giving Molly a pass. So why am I giving Uni with the same? Exactly, cocktails and crime. Thank you. This isn't drama. This is affecting victims. We say we stand for the victims. That's what our mission is. That's what we're here for. But then to sit there and watch the two men that sat there on screen going over my video, the CPS call, be so willing to align with the very people who have been attacking me, which they know firsthand with proof that this has been happening. They've read the fucking letters of the threats to my nieces. To have that audacity that they would even entertain it, retweet things from that group. Penelope's been making community posts, tagging them in it and all that stuff, just anything. That says all I needed to see. And it says a lot about the people around them. Again, this will never be about Navy. Navy's a buffer. Navy's used to do a job. He does that well, but not really. Again, not my business. This is about Uni's behavior, and that's it. Now, I hope that makes it a little bit easier to understand and digest. I know this is it feels like you guys have to choose, and I want you to understand I would never. You guys are adults. We are strangers on the internet, people. I'm never going to tell you where to go, what to feel, how to feel, anything. But I'm also not going to be gaslit by a bunch of you who have been indoctrinated to say the same bullshit, and you're not even allowed to criticize a grown-ass man when he's wrong. I don't want people like that around me. Sorry. That's cultish shit to me, in my opinion. And I want the furthest thing to do with it. I don't fuck with people who use faith manipulation, emotional manipulation, and all sorts of other types of manipulation to continue a grift in the community and claim that they're the knight in shining armor. Well, really, they're a donkey. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. I'm sorry that I got emotional and released the other day. As you guys know, it just naturally happens. But these are doors that I have been trying to keep shut the entire time. I haven't entertained these people. I don't have a conversation. This isn't like something that I have any intent of having a conversation with him and working out. No, this is a fuck you forever. You will not fuck with my real life or entertain people around that are fucking with my real life and laugh and do all this inflated shit and lie about my real life and all. No, we're not doing that. There is no go back. There is no, I can unsee. Nope, I see you for what you are. I'm really disappointed in some of the other people that I thought that sat around him that were better than this too. But instead of even hearing anybody's claims, anybody's concerns, because I'm not the only one that's addressed them. I'm the loudest probably on this all popping off. But there's a lot of people that have addressed concerns that he refuses to acknowledge, and instead they make excuses and condone it. Again, grown-ass men. Let me tell you, if Kyle was to do this shit, holy shit, he'd get kicked in the ass. No, nope, nope. I'm sorry that this is heavy on a lot of you. I'm sorry that you feel like you're stuck in the middle, but you're really not. You're adults. You can maneuver however you want. But just so you know, if you're on the fence, that fence got lit on fire. I don't need fence riders here. We don't, it's not a, you can like both of us. You can, there doesn't have to be this. But you sure as fuck aren't going to come for me and have expectations of me time and time again and feel like you can criticize me when the grown ass man that I'm calling out for his bad behavior, what he has done on the internet, and he can't even address valid concerns. You ain't going to do that. We ain't going to play that game. It's not going to ever turn out well. Let me just say. Obviously, I can handle my own. Obviously, these people have tried to break me. Now they've all teamed up. All I can say is game the fuck on, bitches. Game on. I've walked through my life. I've lived my life. I am who I am because of the struggles I've been through. If you think some dumb twits on the internet that have, in my opinion, single white female syndrome, have nothing better to do, you ain't gonna break me. These girls are a Tuesday morning. When you can walk a day in my shoes, maybe we can talk. You guys are the ones that need to get your strength up, because I think this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. I like the slow burn sometimes. Do I have any questions? I'm really sorry, y'all. Like, I know that some of you are really upset about a lot of this shit, but if you saw yesterday and can honestly condone that and like excuse that in your head, and maybe some of you didn't, which is why we're going to play it this afternoon, there's just so much to unpack, and we're going to put it on display. But if you could watch that and then hear what everybody has been saying, not just me, this is not just a me thing. I'm speaking on behalf of me about my personal experiences. It's my channel. I'm allowed to do that. No, y'all, the purge isn't like some scary mask shit or like, God, that they're taking every little thing I say. Hey, bitches, which one of you got the duty of screen recording all my stuff? Isn't that kind of crazy, though? I really feel bad for his mods because, man alive, you guys have to sit through some shit to get in content. I feel bad for y'all. It was torture myself to sit through that shit. So I feel bad for those of you that do this, especially when you're in the like state of like hating the person because he told you have to hate him and you have to sit through that again. Like, that's got to be hell. I'm really sorry. I feel for whoever got the job of screen recording me. Kathy P's like, wait. Oh, Angie, actually, I sat back yesterday. I didn't go live for a reason. I needed to process how I was feeling and where I wanted to go with this, because I needed to see what was going on, and people couldn't understand why I was personally bothered by this. So I needed to really get the personal side out of it. This ain't personal to me, but it had personal effects that I definitely had feelings about. This isn't a personal battle between me and Uni. He disrespected me, and that's why I had personal feelings about those incidents. So I needed to be able to separate that, and I really needed to sit back, and I needed to take some criticism too and hear, some other things that were going on. Because again, at the end of the day, our actions have ripple effects on other people. And again, because they twist everything I say anyways. Thanks, Quartz. I'm sorry you haven't been feeling well. Oh, y'all, Nana's not drunk. I don't even know. I don't watch her, so I wouldn't have even thought of that either. I don't know. I was just saying it as in like out with the old, in with the new, but they're using it as I'm blocking everybody. I don't even know who his people are. Like, honestly, to be truthful, I would have to go to my mods and ask my mods to identify Uni's people because I have no clue who they fucking are. I don't follow the people that he's even brought on panel to co-sign this shit. I don't know. And that's how they move. And this is how they do it. Now they're bringing in people that have never, like, it's just weird. All of it's weird. Cherish, I'm gonna show that. There was a lot of bold statements made in the last 48 hours, so a lot. Yeah, Kathy P, I would have no idea though. I would just have no clue where to start because so many people share subs, people go everywhere. Like, that's just weird. I mean, do they come with a warning label? Maybe that's what? I don't know. I hope this makes a little bit more sense why I had an emotional reaction to it, why I was personally bothered by those situations. Again, this isn't a pattern, or this is a pattern of behavior. This isn't a personal thing for me and him. I'm over it. I've moved on. I've processed my feelings. Not to say that I'm not going to have any more, because again, they go dirty, instantly dirty. I don't play that way. We don't got to play that way. But I also can play. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. I got to go to Walmart. Ugh. I hate going to Walmart. And I got to drop. We started cleaning up. Oh! I don't have my lashes on yet. Shit. Remind me later. Remember I was telling you guys about the white snake underwear? Or great white underwear that I have? Not white snake. The band at the Great White, when we were playing music that day, I mentioned them. I found them last night. We're going through totes in the garage. That's what our project has been. Clearing out a bunch of stuff. I actually found a newspaper article about me in 8th grade too. It's actually pretty funny. I was like, oh, I'll show you guys some of that stuff. It was fun reminiscing, finding things that I have stocked up in the garage and totes. I'm like, haven't seen this in 5 years. Buy a kilt. All right, y'all. I will be back this afternoon. Again, I'm not going to play Queen's live while she's live currently. If you need something to do, I'm sure there's people live all over the place. I don't want to go, but I have to dump off Kyle loaded up the back of my car and I have got to go donate a bunch of stuff. So fun. Otherwise I can't see out my back window. Bullshit. Thank you guys for being here and listening to me. I hope this explains things a little bit better of what's going to happen, where it's going to go. Again, I'm going to get right back into it, just like I walked back the facts and the case where what we're going to deal with is it's going to be what it's going to be. And those of you that want to sit this out, I totally respect that, totally understand. And there we go. It's not that hard. Again, if you choose to leave, thank you for being here when you were. Sorry to see you go. Take care. Well wishes. Best of luck on everything. If you decide to sit it out and make up a decision as we go through, totally understand. Open to differences of opinions, but again, we will base them on the facts. I'm not going to be gaslit. You're not going to play your games on me. We're just not going to do this. You're not going to create havoc with my mods. You're not going to create havoc with my subs. You can act like a grown-up man, or I can treat you like the toddler that you've become. Have a good day, y'all. And by the way, to you, subs, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me the space to feel. Thank you for showing up for me constantly. Thank you to all of you that reached out to me, checked on me instantly. Thank you for being here, because a lot of you guys have felt just as emotional about this stuff that's been happening to me as I have. And I will never be able to appreciate you guys enough or repay you enough for the emotional support you supply me constantly. You guys have really had my backbone and lifted it up when I have had a weak one. So again, totally appreciate you. Oh, and one more thing to clarify just before I get out of here too. Because I'm calling Uni a liar, let's put it this way. Somebody said, how can you call Uni a liar when he was calling out the Letitia stuff. Uni used my content to call that out. There's nothing that Uni provided to me. You notice that I never used Uni's content to tell the facts and the truth in that story. Just to clarify this, I forgot I was asked this. And not that he wasn't factual. He was factual about some stuff. If he would have kept the content to just what it was, none of that changes, y'all. The facts and the proof don't change. So Uni being a liar is not anything to do with Marvon's story, the funds, and like any of that. Everything that we have talked about with that piece of it is completely independent of what is going on. That has no factor in it. The facts don't change. That's the difference, is when you stand on the facts, even when you're called all these things, like the only person you're discrediting in the end is yourself, Uni, because you used my content to make your arguments. Without me, you would have never even had an opportunity to see what was going on, because none of you guys had access to the sources. None of you guys had the information. You guys took a bunch of leftovers, and great at a lot of times, but you were not an influential piece of this. So if he's taken out of it, nothing changes on that. This is Dre and Marvon's story. That is not anything to do with us creators, and that story will never change. The facts and the truth don't change until Dre fills in the other gaps or whatever, or they provide proof. None of that changes. That's the only thing. Or correct it. That's the only way that things are going to get corrected, is from Dre and the family, those pieces going. Okay? That doesn't change. Anyways, have a good day. I will see you guys at 4. I know. I'm back to him, Cash. Okay.